What's going on, YouTube? I am 38 hot. Let me tell you why. Now, I know I'm late with this story. This happened, over a week ago. The 51-year-old man that cold-cocked, socked an 11-year-old child. Now, when I first heard about the article, I read the headline, you know, I was pissed, no doubt about it. 51-year-old man, you know, I saw a little bit of the detail. I didn't even want to read it because I was so mad. And of course, the clickbait said 51-year-old white man hits an 11-year-old black girl. Of course, you know that made it worse, right? That make me go into Black Panther mode right there. Well, I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait a little while, and I waited, and because I'm gonna read to see all three sides of the story, you know, his side, her side, and the truth. You know, I wanted to know what was going on, even though in my opinion, there's never any excuse for a 51-year-old man to ever hit a child that's not his child, and who doesn't know a child. So I said I'm gonna read it just for good measure, so I can be just when I make my determination. So I read a little bit of the article and I got down to the video. I see this big 6'4" behemoth of a man standing in the midst of several obviously young, what I'm assuming are elementary, middle-aged children. Bunch of them, and they were acting a little rowdy. They were loud. And there was this one child, sort of wild little girl, about 11 years old, that was in his face. She was talking junk to him. And then when she got close to him, I never even thought the girl was going to hit him, by the way, but when she got close to him, he pushed this child like he would push another grown man. See, he was wrong right there. When he pushed the child, he was wrong. He pushed that girl so hard that she flew back. I'm surprised she was able to catch herself to keep from falling back on her back when he did this. So that pissed me off right there. I was like, why did he push this child? You mean to tell me he could not turn and walk away? He could have left. This big grown joker had no business out there in the middle of a bunch of kids. Anyway, I understand he was trying to break up something, but he wasn't nothing but a big old grown foolish child himself, because he had no business in the middle of all of these kids. If they were doing something they had no business, he should have went and called for backup. He should have went and got mall security. Instead, he thinks he's Paul Blart, mall cop or somebody, and he pushes this child with the force that any man would push another grown man with, okay? And then, of course, her being sassy and defiant, like a lot of these kids are these days, she runs up on him. Yes, she was wrong to get in his face. She got close to him, but again, I never thought she was going to hit him. And even if she had hit him, what was she going to do to him? But she didn't hit him, and this time he punched her, socked her, cold-cocked her. And the only thing them other kids did was turn around and run and scream and yell and get all belligerent, when every one of them really at that point, in my opinion, should have sat around, gathered around, jumped on this man back and beat the brake. They should have beat the smoke out of this man when he did what he did to that child. Y'all, the people that are saying, which was a lot of black people, which I'm surprised, are saying that what he did was okay because the child was sassing him. First of all, that man was not her father. Second of all, he could have walked away. There was nothing in that situation that was out of his control. There was no reason why he could not have dismissed himself from the midst of those kids in the first place. They didn't know him. Who was he? He had no business touching that child. It just showed me how foolish he was. He just wanted to be in the middle of some cheering mess, like my mama said. He was in the middle of cheering mess, and he could have went on about his business. Okay, it'd have been different if it had been a 11-year-old boy that was the same age as she was. They were out, an 11-year-old boy, and they had faced off. That'd have been different, because if she had gotten in her peer's face, then perhaps he would have had a reason to push her. But not a big 6'4" grown 250-pound white man or black man or any kind of man should have been doing that. That child was small. I mean, what if he had put her in the hospital? What if he had bust her nose or loosened a tooth or something like that? And I'm telling you, even more than I am angry with him, I'm angry with the people around him who did not step up and discipline him right then. That man should have been citizen arrested right there on the spot. The people that are saying that he was right to do that, a lot of them are the same people that's saying that R. Kelly was wrong to do what he did with these 15-year-old girls, when these 15 and 16-year-old girls were in fact, they consented to it. Now, I'm not saying R. Kelly was right. He was wrong. He was dumb. But the same people that say this white man was justified in hitting this child, this small child, are the same ones that are saying that R. Kelly was wrong. Why are the girls that were messing with R. Kelly victims when their parents allowed a lot of it? But this little 11-year-old girl whose parents were nowhere in sight is not a victim. Now, see, to me, in my opinion, that little girl's parents had every right to come up on that man and cold cock him. I'm sorry, it was their responsibility to discipline that girl if she was doing something wrong. It was their responsibility to discipline her. First of all, that man was not her father. Again, he wasn't a school teacher. He was a complete stranger. So even though she was being sassy and she looked like she was out of order for talking to an old man, but he had no relationship to her. So really and truly, was she wrong? You understand what I'm saying? Was she really wrong? She just needed to be taught how to carry herself and how to behave in public. And her parents should have done that. But the way that man handled her, there's no justification for that. That man should be under the jail. As far as I'm concerned, like I'm saying, if her parents had the ability or the opportunity to get a hold of him, they need to monkey stomp him. He need to be monkey stomped for hitting that child the way that he did when he could have clearly walked away from him. And that's all I want to say about that. Y'all, I'm 38 hot. Oh my God, I see, this is why I shouldn't have watched that video. See, the Lord ain't through with me yet, okay? He is not through with me yet. I just shouldn't have done it. I should have stayed with my first mind and never watched that video. I should have just read the article and been through with it. But no, I had to, be a glutton for punishment. Anyway, I'm sleepy. Let me go home, take a nap, and maybe wake up with a new attitude. All right, y'all, this is Fair Play here. Happy Sunday to you all. Thank you for watching the video. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.